When I say guap, you say daddy. Guap. It's your boy Del Boy, and you know when you see the handheld like this, you know we've got another video coming for you guys. So, as many of you that have seen, WWE have released a series for Ruthless Aggression, and you know in a recent episode I more or less said that Ruthless Aggression was better than the Attitude Era. So we've brought this to you guys to let us know what you guys think. Which one's better? Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression.
Austin is loading. McMahon's car. Oh my God!
What's good, people? It's your boy Dashiki Dash, and I just want to quickly touch on the two eras in WWE, and that's between the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era. For me personally, hands down, it goes without saying that the Attitude Era was the best era in wrestling. We're talking about Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock at his peak powers, you know, Versace wearing, Gucci loafers, shades, on the mic, unrivaled. You couldn't touch him. Stone Cold Steve Austin and his beefs with the McMahon family and the storylines. I remember one time The Rock threw Stone Cold's belt over the bridge and then threw The Rock over the bridge, and then the following week there was a funeral, a eulogy. Oh man, and we're talking about groups as well. Groups like the Nation of Domination, DX, the Heart Foundation. You can't get groups like that no more, man. And just the commentary as well, man. JR and the King, they were at their best during the Attitude Era. Attitude Era, definitely the best.
Chris the Capo, El Numero Uno. You know the vibes. Shout out the WRESTHINGS family every single time. I don't know why we're having this debate, if I'll be honest with you. We all know that the Attitude Era is way better than Ruthless Aggression. When you think of wrestling, you think of the Attitude Era, the stars that were there. You think of The Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker, Kane, Triple H, Kurt Angle, Big Show. You're thinking of those guys. You're not thinking of Brock Lesnar and Batista and Randy Orton. You might think of John Cena, but the star power was just, the levels were just too much. You feel me? In the Attitude Era, the levels were just way too high. And just of how invested you was into every title, not just with Ruthless Aggression, the WWE title or the World Heavyweight Championship. You was invested in the WWF title, you was invested in the Intercontinental, you was invested in the Tag Team, you was invested in the Hardcore, you was invested in the Women's, you was even invested in the Light Heavyweight Championship, and the European Championship, bro. Come on. You was invested in all of these, not just the main big title. As well as that, man, I mentioned in Ruthless Aggression, bro, as much as you may say, yes, SummerSlam 2003, you may say WrestleMania 21, bro, remember there was some dead pay-per-views like Bad Blood. There was dead pay-per-views like Great American Bash. There was dead pay-per-views like flipping, even they killed Armageddon. Armageddon used to be live during the Attitude Era period. After you Ruthless Aggression dons came through, it was trash. Remember that one Armageddon when Evolution won everything? They left with every title. Come on, bro. Even with that, the pay-per-views, there was too much of a gamble because SmackDown will have one pay-per-view, Raw will have one, SmackDown will have one, Raw will have one. Then they will link up. Come on, man. Ruthless Aggression was pants. It was bum cheeks. Absolute bum cheeks. Even when you think of Attitude Era, you're thinking of the epic matches that took place. Stone Cold versus The Rock, WrestleMania 17. You know, the Dudleys, the Hardys, Edge and Christian, TLC 1 and 2. You're thinking of The Undertaker versus Kane versus Stone Cold. You're thinking of Chris Benoit versus Chris Jericho, Royal Rumble 2001. You're thinking of the Royal Rumble 2001 match. You're thinking of 99 Royal Rumble match. You're thinking of flipping Armageddon 6-man Hell in a Cell. Come on, you're thinking of Stone Cold versus Triple H, 2 out of 3 falls. You know what I mean? You're thinking of some epic matches that took place. Even the main events that were taking place on SmackDown and Raw on a normal day, on a normal weekly basis was mad compared to Ruthless Aggression. Ruthless Aggression, what did you man have? Evolution versus whoever, and then they just beat up everyone. Come on, man, allow me. You man can't mention Ruthless Aggression to me, right? The Attitude Era every single day, every single time. You weren't even bored. Like, there were so many contenders for each title. For Ruthless Aggression, all it was Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar or Triple H, and the odd one person will hold it for a month, and Triple H will take it again. Come on, man. Don't come up to me with all that Ruthless Aggression talk. Attitude Era, baby. You know the vibes.
For me, it's an attitude era thing all day, every day, man. That was just such a gangster time for wrestling. So G'd up, so raw, unpredictable. Didn't even have to be a pay-per-view. You could be watching on a Friday night and something mad would just happen. Expect the unexpected at all times, you know? I feel like the wrestlers at that point had more creative freedom as well. That's how you end up with Mankind, well, Mick Foley being able to be Mankind, Cactus Jack and Dude Love at the same time. Like, we know it's all him, but we believe each individual character. I swear one year he came into the Rumble 3 times as each different person, getting pops every time. Like, it was mad. One thing I will say, the Ruthless Aggression era probably had the better in-ring stuff technically, but without the storylines and everything else to captivate me, it just was never the same. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, so that's my thing. Attitude era, all day, every single day. You heard it from me, Bonks.
To choose one, it would probably be Attitude Era. I think it created larger than life stars that we're probably still finding it hard to, WWE still find it hard to replicate all now. I feel like it was the pinnacle of wrestling in pop culture terms. When its popularity was probably the highest it's ever been. I think it had amazing storylines. I think the Kane Undertaker storyline is probably the best storyline, like, from start to finish that I've ever seen in my life. Ruthless Aggression, I felt like was more of a rise of the underdogs things, like guys that would have been intercontinental stars or European stars during the Attitude Era were given, or tag team champions were given their chance to shine, and I think they did it well and amazingly, but boy, Attitude Era.
Take would definitely be that the Ruthless Aggression era is underrated. I mean, it's definitely underrated. But the reason why the Attitude Era lasts longer than the Ruthless Aggression era is because the stars were more bona fide. They lasted longer, and they had more of a social impact than the Ruthless Aggression era. That's one thing. And then the second thing, the storylines carried much more depth. When you look at Stone Cold Steve Austin being run over, that was a storyline that ran over a year and about 3-4 months, from November 1999 all the way till 2001 No Way Out. So when you look at things like that, even though it was to mask a neck surgery that he had, there was just much more depth in the storyline. When you look at The Rock and Triple H during the 2000s, just their back and forth for supremacy over the WWF Championship, it lets you know that there was more weight to the storylines. Whereas the Ruthless Aggression era, I didn't feel like we had that sort of impact with the storylines. I feel like they could have had more weight wise. And secondly, the stars could have lasted longer. Chris Masters, the likes of Snitsky, the likes of the what's these guys, the 5-man that wore green pants, 5 Squad or whatever. Like, I forgot what they were called in it. But yeah, the stars just didn't have as much of a social impact, even though they were far more athletic than the Attitude Era. Hence why for me, I'll put the Attitude Era above the Ruthless Aggression Era. But I'm not undermining the Ruthless Aggression Era either. Like, they had some crazy stars. Batista was set in stone there. Edge was set in stone there. The likes of CM Punk established his name in that era as well. So yeah, man, that's my intake in regards to the question. Macro Neuro.
It's your boy Beaks and I'm back in the building. You know the routine. We're out here, we're rolling, and we're moving. Yo, shout out to WRESTHINGS. Are you man doing me dirty, bruv? Like, hold on. 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Fucking intro's like 10 seconds already gone. Fuck. Anyways, let's get into it. Last time I did something like this for them, bruv, my predictions for the Royal Rumble was spot on. So you guys have to hear me out, innit? This is about Ruthless Aggression versus the Attitude Era. I'm going for Attitude Era purely on storyline wise. Absolutely entertaining. Obviously with Vince, Stone Cold, Rock, Triple H, Shawn Michaels and whatnot. Fantastic, bruv. I'm Undertaker as well, Kane. Brilliant. But, you know, ability wise, probably gonna have to give it to Ruthless Aggression. I probably would have given it to them if the storyline was better than Attitude Era, but I've grown up on Attitude Era. I can't let the man down. You gotta represent in it. Do you get me? 90s kid and that, get me? So shout out to WRESTHINGS. That's me. That's my opinion. We're over and out. Peace. Beaks Corner.
Make sure you sound off in the comments and let us know
Was Stone Cold, The Rock, was their era, the Attitude Era, the best era, or was the Ruthless Aggression era better? You let us know. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, #WRESTHINGS. Yeah, you know, buy the Mandem for the Mandem. You already know the slogan. Ow!